Hello, friends, and friends of the Capels, and friends of the Capels. This is the third video in our webinar series, starring the one and only Kestrel Lee, ECD of the Integrated Solutions team at Dentsu China. Well, we know what the Western perspective of AI is, thanks to Lars and Matt. Now, here's what they see in the East. Over to you, Kestrel.
How can agency people commercialize the use of AI? Basically, AI has been part of our advertising work for years. Let me show you a few case studies. This is done from China 2 years ago. This is AIGC using search, and this was funded by Baidu, which is the key innovator of AI in China. Baidu as a search engine tied up with Smart, which is EV car, and they want to target Gen Zs. So basically, the AI part comes from the search algorithm that's used to identify what should be the key target audience. So they decided to target Gen Z who love music. And the way they can try to circle in this target audience is to use basically Baidu map as well as some certain targeting. So AI has been part of performance marketing for years. The other thing, and this is quite important, is that AI has been also part of banner advertising. Here's a Cannes winning case study from WPP. I'll just play part of it.
In a World Cup first, we hijacked the yellow card. Throughout the entire World Cup on Migu, China's biggest live sports platform, whenever a yellow card was issued, we used AI-powered in-game triggers to simultaneously push alerts across multiple platforms, connected devices, and digital outdoor in real time. Fans could instantly exchange our yellow cards for an ice-cold Sprite on or offline to cool down.
This case study is very simple. Sprite in China is a great product for summer, where they sort of sell it as a cooling drink. But then during winter, it doesn't seem to have much of a position. So they use AI to serve banners every time there's a heated moment during World Cup, during the winter time. So this was a Cannes winning and media entry this year. But the other thing, and this is probably what is evolving, is besides ChatGPT and Midjourney, there's also this thing called AI-driven avatars.
做个自我介绍，你可以叫我 Mercedes。
Introducing Hey, Mercedes. She embodied Mercedes' knowledge, innovation, and technology.
先和你介绍一下 EV 纯电平台。
We took people on an immersive interactive journey, walking, talking, and driving us through the opulent world of sustainability. She hosted premieres at the Beijing and Paris auto shows, engaged with audiences on social media platforms.
守护共同的家园，我们需要你并肩向前。
Her launch event surpassed 70 million live views, with over 100,000 potential buyers visiting the website.
我们继续出发，换你来开。
So these are case studies that used AI before 2023. So what happened this year? ChatGPT allowed the public for the first time to mess around with AI to create content. In the past, the public have no access to working with AI. It's all done in the backend. It's done between media agencies. It's done by geeks, data scientists, or people who work with data like me. But in 2023, the cat is let out of the bag. So you have starting to see AI campaigns. The first commercial one was done by Coke. Okay, I'll stop here. The key point I want to make about the Coke example is this is what passes for commercial AI campaigns in the world today. And during the time in March where the Coke campaign came out, there were already tens of similar campaigns in China. This is one example from Starbucks China. It went out on Chinese version Valentine's Day. The key thing was to distribute e-commerce discount coupons by asking people to design the coupon using branded assets that's provided within this WeChat mini program. So I'm just going to play a bit of this to show the user experience. Okay. Everything we do in China when it comes to digital is all mobile. That's why you see this as a portrait. This is a mini program. A mini program is like an app within an app. So WeChat is something like Facebook. So we have mini apps running on WeChat, and this is how they're actually allowing people to create their own customized discount coupon or card to give it to a friend. Okay. If you notice one thing, this is another example. This is by Shiseido, a Japanese high-end beauty brand. They are doing this as an art gallery collaboration. You design your own invitation to this art gallery sponsored by Shiseido using the brand assets they have provided. They want you to pull a picture from your mobile phone's photo folder. Okay, if you notice so far, all this AIGC content campaign is basically using 2D visuals. Because 2D visuals, illustration, graphics are easily created if your client does not have forever to wait for you to shoot a proper gallery of content for users to use to create all this branded content. We are also seeing AIGC being used in offline setting. This is a very recent campaign done by Dentsu's media agency for Intel. We use a non-internet version of AIGC to partner the Evo notebook collection. Basically, people can create interesting content on the notebooks that's being sold at the offline store. And because it's not connected to the internet, we are not worried that the content gets shared online where there might be a lot of issues. So this is basically how brands in China are using AIGC to drive social commerce. Okay. So basically my job is very clear. I am a creative, but I straddle 3 service lines: creative, media, and experience. Right now, my biggest pitch for AI in China is that AI plus content plus media will drive 24/7 brand engagement across all platforms. My job is to convince the client, if you have been advertising in China for 20 years, please give me all your long films, please give me all your short videos, please give me all your branded social content, please give me all your photo images that you use for search, e-commerce, please pass me all your campaign toolkits. And we will actually help them to build databases of all this branded content, audit them to see if they still have the rights to use this content, be it the music element or whatever, and we will develop a proper database. Because AI generative content is this year's version of UGC, user generated content. I'll give you one quick example. There are 4 pillars that we look at. The first pillar is the AI-driven interface interaction. This is where your ChatGPT, Midjourney tools come into play. But for me, I feel there is more of an opportunity in avatars. That's the first pillar. The second pillar, and this is probably the one that gives agencies the nightmare, is machine learning or NLP. There is no way you can hasten machine learning. You don't get to AI immediately. You need a few years to train, or you need millions of people to train your AI tool within 3 months, and hopefully things will click together. So there is a price to pay when you try to rush learning. The third one is very super boring to a creative like me: database predictive modeling and creation. This is something our technology team, our database team, our CRM team is much better at doing that. I think some of you may have read that Dentsu has signed 2 deals. One, we signed a deal with Salesforce. We signed a deal with Microsoft to co-deploy AI solution. So we always look at the back end. I build back to front when it comes to AI. Last but not least, is the AIGC, artificial intelligence generated content. And there's a few ways to do it. And I'll show you all quick case studies about this. Okay, that's enough promotion of my agency. This is avatar before AI. We call it virtual identity. It's no biggie. Everyone has been doing it all over the world. This is what we are doing now. We have just launched LUCIE. LUCIE is an acronym for Loyalty-Driven Customer Intelligence and Engagement AI. Okay, we are not doing this for campaigns. We are doing this to upsell customer and sales support, because everyone's key problem to fix is I'm retrenching a lot, but I have to make sure my customer and sales experience remain top-notch. So what can you do? AI is a possible answer. AI LUCIE will be able to front the brand experience at every customer touchpoint. Okay, currently we are creating AI avatars for these key clients in China. Everyone has a distinctive look, distinctive voice. They do different things, but they're replacing brand ambassadors as we speak. Okay, and we are deploying them everywhere, in the store, live streaming, in-car, mobile interface. So this is something we are actually looking at. The other thing that we are looking at is virtual IP brand ambassador. If this solution really goes after your so-called social influencers, who, because they can do everything they do, and they can look good, they can change their look, change their voice any way they want. And why stop with a human being? Currently, we are because Dentsu has a very strong entertainment DNA. We are also looking to turn AI avatars into IP avatars. So for example, you are working with Barbie. I can turn this avatar solution into a Barbie solution easily, but it's a gold mine for writers. All our art avatars, we require a lot of smart writing. Okay, this won at Cyber Lotus this year. We can also use audio to train the AI to create visual experiences. Okay, I'm almost done. I'll just play one more case study. Okay, there's a huge conversation happening on the database, backend modeling. This is something agencies cannot do. So we are working with Microsoft and Salesforce for this, because the backend modeling is designed to leverage existing client data. As agencies, we do not have a lot of the legal database expertise, so we have to work with best of breed partners. Okay, I'm just going to cover this. I'll just play one more case study. This is something we did in China, and this is probably a very good example of how AIGC can work if we plan this properly. Okay, this is a client. It's a cooking studio. The key problem they have is, although they are Japanese cooking studio, when you try to tell Chinese people how to cook Japanese food, it still tastes like Chinese food. So let's do something different instead.
ABC Cooking Studio, the largest cooking studio in the world dedicated to Japanese food, needed to persuade Chinese people to include Japanese dishes in their daily consumption. Introducing Tasty Food Camouflage. By using AI to analyze both countries' famous dishes, we were able to create infinite combinations. Professional chefs were invited to cook the AI-generated combinations. We were able to create a whole new range of Japanese dishes with Chinese appearance, from appetizers, main courses, and desserts. People fell in love with Tasty Food Camouflage and didn't suspect a thing. Tasty Food Camouflage.
Our client has all the Japanese food image database, so we are clear on that one. However, I need to buy Chinese food image. If I just combine the recipes, combine the pictures, and it just use them as marketing collateral, there's still a chance the image bank will sue us. So we have two level of human intervention. One, we get the professional chefs to cook the recipes and we took those photos. Two, we let the students do the recipe and take their own photos. So we are in the clear. When you do AIGC, you have to think about how to use the human intervention to basically go around whatever image issue, image rights that you are actually, you just need to plan for it. That's all I can say.
Well, listen, we've been going for an hour and 3/4, which is rather longer than your average webinar. I just want to thank you guys enormously. Kestrel, I take on board your message, which is that you're never too old to start learning new tricks. And that's it. Farewell, guys, and thank you so much.